Alright, hello YouTube. This is Jake Hathaway, and I'm making a YouTube video today about my free-to-play only Ironman account, Suck on This 4. It has been almost an entire year since I last made a YouTube video, and I decided today that I'm going to fuck around and make a video because it's been a long time, and I'm sure there's a couple people, and I emphasize a couple people, who would probably be interested in seeing what is going on. I have been playing this game quite a bit since my last video in January of 2023. I just have not been super active in the community. I chat a little bit in the World 385 clan chat. I'll stream maybe 6 times a year or something like that, but really just go to work, hang out, play RuneScape, and I've been doing that for about 4 years now, and my account has progressed quite a bit, so I'm going to keep making these videos as long as people enjoy watching them. But yeah, I want to recap quickly what I've been up to since my last video in January of last year. Starting with my stats here, I am maxed except for the last 2 and then Magic. I don't really count Magic because that is pretty much there, and that's just AFK left at this point. But I'm down to the big 2, being Prey and Runecrafting. Start here from my last video. I was at 95 smithing. I was able to get that knocked out. I was at 89 crafting. I was able to get that knocked out. I was only at 90 magic. I got a lot of that done mainly from smithing, but I also AFK'd quite a bit. And then I was at 91 defense, and I knocked that out at flesh crawlers. Starting with my side tab over here too, you see I got all kinds of fun notes. I like to keep a lot of stuff logged. It just helps me remember, because I do not remember jack shit from January of this past season. So I'm glad I wrote a lot of this stuff down and kind of logged what I was doing. Helps making these videos easier, and it's just fun to kind of go back and look at things. Before I get in that, I should explain what I'm doing right now. I am training some runecrafting. As I'll get into a little bit, I spent a lot of my year collecting all these air talismans. The last batch I'll ever have to get on this account. But now I got a lot of very easy and good prayer experience banked to finish off all the tiaras. I previously banked on my crafting grind. Right now I'm just walking back and forth from the Fallador bank. I don't have enough law runes to efficiently do this. If I had killed enough ogresses earlier, I could be teleporting to Varrock and even doing some run restore with Pharaoh's Enclave. But ultimately, even with both of those things, it'll speed up the experience an hour to maybe 500 more. It says I'm getting about 13k right now. It's because I'm still early in the hour, and I did pause the timer on accident earlier. The effective rate really is closer to about 12.5k, or even 12 sometimes. So maybe 13 when you're doing all these things together. But with that, it makes the effective rate of grinding these air talismans and then using those about 7k an hour, which isn't the best runecrafting. It used to be probably the best. Now that so much has changed in the meta, it's just a good method. But at this point, I'd already banked all my tiaras, so it was a fun thing to do, because I don't think, besides like the crazy people like min-level Skilla, not a lot of people have gone for talisman training methods. And not to my knowledge, nobody's gone to a banking method where they actually have the proof of all of them that they've made. So it'll be nice to have that stack of 225,000 air tiaras when it's all said and done. And I'll be able to make a big song and dance out of completing the Rune Mysteries quest with like 91 rune crafting. So that'll be fun. But I guess what I wanted to get into here is I'm going to recap my year a little bit, maybe show a few skilling clips at the end of the video, and then touch on a couple of subjects I wanted to chat about. But starting with the beginning of my previous year, I think I kind of touched on it in the last video briefly. I was in a temporary living situation this year until about July, because on Christmas last year, in 2022, or 2023, excuse me, our house actually flooded. We were on vacation to my girlfriend's family's house. We got back, and the house was completely flooded, ruined. Luckily, you know, we rent, and our owner, or our landlord, had a rent insurance, and we had renter's insurance. Everything was fine, but I was displaced for about 7 months living in Airbnbs. But during that whole time period, I wasn't able to play with great internet. I was on a lot of like hotel Wi-Fi and stuff. But didn't deter me from getting my scape grinds in. At the start of the year, I was still about halfway through my my superheating grind with all the nature runes that I had from double hopping, so I was determined to get those used up. I'll throw in a clip here at the end of the video of the method I was doing, but if you're at all familiar with free-to-play methods, you should probably have a pretty good idea of how the superheating method works. But a pretty cool recent thing that was found, I want to say 2 or so years ago, where you can actually aggro the dwarf down in the mine, and you can 3-tick off of him. It helps speed up the rate a little bit. The superheating method doing that isn't quite as fast as the double snow, but it is way easier, and you can get like 99.5% of like the theoretical EHP limit. So like I would 100% recommend it to just about anybody, because the snow method, it's really difficult and requires plugins, and it's just no bueno. But you can see on my side tab here, I was logging my experience. It looks like my weekly experience rates. Probably wasn't going super hard at this point in time because I was just playing like on my laptop. But I was able to get the rest of that grind done by March, so I did it pretty much 3 months straight, maybe just AFKing some stuff in the meantime. Once I finished that grind, it used up all of my nature runes. I was barely 98 smithing, so I still had to finish out 98 to 99. Of course, I still had a bunch of ruby rings and ring of forgings banked from years ago at this point when I did my my archery grind, so I decided just to knock out the rest of smithing via banking some iron ore and doing the ring of forging. Noob method. No, it's not the most efficient, but I really did not. I'd already finished, or I had not finished melee at that point, but I did not want to go back to ogresses. It was too much of a slog at that point. I just wanted to get smithing done with and never have to worry about that skill again. So that's what I did, and you can see here at the bottom, I mined some iron. I was doing a couple different methods, testing it out. I tried a leather method where I had a piece of leather, the thread, and then the needle as well, and doing some tick manip with some walking across and like a cross pattern to get the iron down in the mining guild. Got about 700 ores an hour doing that. But then the old-fashioned noob method, which was just clicking, no tick manips or anything, actually got you a little bit more ores an hour. So it was kind of interesting, kind of testing those different rates out and seeing how much does saving a tick matter over the long run versus having extra inventory space and such a short cycle of going to and from the bank. It was just kind of interesting. I did get more fire making experience because I was burning logs to and from on my trips. But yeah, that was pretty cool. But I finished that. I don't remember exactly when I finished my smithing. Probably sometime in April or so. April or June. Because I know my goal was to get it all knocked out before May, as that's when my super busy work season starts. You can see here I didn't start my next grind until July. But yeah, working in the line of business I do, usually by around May or so. May, June, and July are my super busy months where I'll spend, an entire month basically at the office, getting there at 8 a.m. and sometimes staying as late as midnight, and then come back the next day and working on weekends just because there's so much to do to get ready for our season. So, but don't worry, I'm a salaried employee, so that's what I signed up for. So my goal during those times too, I was able to play a little bit. I do have an office where I can usually AFK for a little bit, but I can't play too much, especially because I don't want all my in real life coworkers to know what a fucking loser I am playing RuneScape for this many hours a day. But I'm able to, I pop open a different client and will AFK a little bit and usually downsize when somebody walks by, but they'll never know. So about July 3rd or so, that's when my schedule started slowing down. I jumped into my next grind, which was getting ready for some Runecrafting, which I'm currently working on. The drop trick method, one of the most cancerous training methods in all of old school RuneScape. I would not recommend anybody does it, but it was fun after a while, and after you do something for that long, your brain just becomes like a thing you look forward to doing. It's like your brain tricks yourself into thinking you're relaxing when you're focusing intently on clicking on the Duke of Lumbridge and fucking dropping air talismans and converting them into notes. It's maybe that's autism, I don't know. But I was able to get through that grind. It was not as bad as the first time I did this grind to get my first 100k stack. But to finish off the rest of the tiaras I had in my bank, I still needed 125k. I started with a goal of only getting 100 because getting 125 was kind of a lot to think about. So instead, just to think about 100. I left for vacation on October 8th, so my goal was to get that done before vacation so I could take that whole week off and not even think about this game. Broke it down into a daily goal of about 1,000 a day, which really helped keep me on track, because I think I've talked about this in previous videos, but having that daily goal and that weekly goal to just kind of keep yourself accountable I can't recommend it enough for accomplishing big grinds, because it's kind of like a game you can play with yourself where you can go, okay, I need to do 1,000 today. Well, today is a Sunday, and I like to start my weeks on a Monday so I can work ahead on like the Sunday before. But like on a Sunday, if I play for 7 hours and I'll do 2,000 or 3,000, I'm like, okay, like I really don't even have to play or do this again until Thursday of next week. I mean, granted, every day I get home from work, all I'm doing is the same training method. But in my brain, it's like, if I didn't want to do it, I could go do something else until Wednesday or Thursday. That's when I gotta get back on the grind again. So you just keep continually working ahead, and like Friday afternoon or so, it's like, oh, I hit my weekly goal of 7,000. Now anything I work on, I can work towards next week's goal. So you just keep constantly playing this game with yourself and keeping ahead, and it just helps you stay motivated to get some of the worst grinds in the game done. And I was able to finish my goal of 100,000 on September 18th, well ahead of schedule. I think I average probably closer to 2,000 a day versus the 1,000, maybe more like 1,500 a day. But yeah, I didn't go super hard during this. Maybe 1 week here I did 12k on a week. And doing this method of getting those air talismans, you can get about 600 an hour fully focused, probably closer to about 550 if you're like kind of screwing around or taking breaks and stuff. And it's truly like 100% focus, 0 EHP. I flatlined on my all my EHP metric sites. A lot of people probably just assumed that I like burnt out or quit. Like, no, dude, I was just being a fucking gamer and got all these banked. So I finished that grind. Now I've got up until I believe 92 Runecrafting banked, and I'm just gonna keep doing this until I get there. And I'll talk about what I'm currently doing, my current goals here in a little bit. But that's where I was on that grind. As soon as I finished, I did take about a week off when I was in Mexico. I came back on the 24th, and then I knocked out the rest of the 25k I needed to get to my 125,000 air talismans. At that point, I actually had recorded my weeks, but that's right around when I accidentally made a Jagex account, and I think my for some reason a lot of my notes for like 2 weeks didn't get saved, so I just kind of lost that progress, but that's okay. But once I finished that, I was officially maxed minus these two skills, Runecrafting and Pray. Even looking, before I made this video, I went back and rewatched some of my old videos for the first time in a while, and I think 2 episodes ago, I was literally talking about the smithing and crafting grind like I was never gonna finish it, and I was thinking like if I can get those 2 done, like I'm gonna be done with this account. And you know, here we are. We finished everything except for the 2 AIDS skills, and here we are. We're just gonna start slowly chipping away at them. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm gonna finish them. I'm just gonna keep the mindset that I've been, and you know, if I keep playing at the rate I've been, it should take me about 3 years. If I play like I've been playing recently, I might finish it in 2 years. I might not ever finish it. I don't know. We will see. Maybe I'll quit my job and I'll finish it in 1 year. Probably not going to happen though. But on November 12th, 2023, I decided to do a mini Prey grind. I was going to wait till the new year originally to start Prey. I was at 83, I want to say before. But I started testing it, or not testing, but I started trying out the double hop method, and it kind of like lit a fire under me a little bit. It was pretty much the most fun I've had playing RuneScape in a long time that I can remember. It was just such an engaging, click-intensive method that was rewarding and had a lot of room for like micro improvements and a lot of different methods, and then it's got good alternatives. There's like the method that I think Iodin does, where you can just find 1 bone and do 2 clients, and you can get like 80% of efficient rates, and it's like super easy. But then if you go 2 clients, full double hop, the 2 big bone spawns, and grab the bone in the middle, you can really get up to like 16,000 an hour, but like pretty reliably. Even if you're a noob like me, like I can get 14K an hour without even thinking about it, and that's like the efficient rate. And if I was better at clicking and world hopping, I've gotten closer to 15, 16K hours as well. But I started that grind on the 12th of November. My goal is to get 85 by the new year. For me, I was aiming for 25K a day, about 175K a week. And at first, that was super easy to get. I got a 400K week my first week. About halfway through the week, I was looking on Temple high scores and be like, oh shit, like I'm low-key and putting together a good week. So the second half of that week, I had a few days off with, that wasn't Thanksgiving. I can't remember when that was. But basically, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to try to get as high as I can on the Temple high score. I think I ended up like a top 10 or 15 score on Temple. It was a pretty solid week overall. And then, pretty solid weeks after that as well. Finished my grind a couple days before the new year with basically taking the last week off as well. So it was a good grind. The prey method is a lot of fun. I did one thing I wanted to talk about, and it's kind of been a contentious topic among free-to-play Discord and commentary in general, is this the Jagex account. I don't even know what the right word for it is. It's basically being forced upon everybody here in like 3 days, I want to say. Every new account is going to become a Jagex account, which actually I love the Jagex launcher. It's like it makes it so much easier to log in. The one-click login is great. Of course, it has the one really horrible downside that only affects extremely niche account types, being free-to-play Ironman. But really, it affects everybody. It's just I don't think double hopping has been as explored as in pay to play as it has in free to play. And maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't know. But the Jagex account thing limits the number of world hops you can have. It takes it from around 600 world hops you can do before you have to sit down to about 300 or so like that. Or maybe it's like 800, 400. But basically, it makes it to where you could have played about 4 hours doing boneyard training in a sitting, and now you can do it for maybe 2. It's really 1 if you're focused and doing just that. But if you take a lot of breaks and every 30 hops or so you do a method where you just walk around and collect the bones. There's ways to extend it is what I'm getting at. I'm already rambling at this point. But basically, the Jagex thing neuters the prey training method to the point where even getting 25K a day, it's a lot harder because it's no longer just playing RuneScape for 2.5 hours. It's about planning out your days, because you will run into the hop limits now, and now you have to be more strategic about, okay, I need to get 10K in the morning before I go to work because I just woke up, the hop limit is fresh, I can knock out some stuff here in the morning. Okay, I'm at work, it's my lunch break, I'm going to knock out 30 minutes of boneyard here because the hop limit's going to be fresh. As soon as I get home from work, I want to make sure I'm doing the full hop limit, until before I get yelled at by my girlfriend to come help out and make dinner. Like, hang on, honey, I gotta fucking bury some bones real quick because there's a hop limit, and I gotta let it respawn here while I'm eating dinner and hanging out, so then I can do it again before I go to bed. So it's just it's a little more cumbersome with planning out your day and going for a grind. But I did find that if you do play in the morning a little bit, and I'm able to get a little bit of plan here and there at work, by the time I get home, I've knocked out 10 to 15 of my 25K goal, which means I really just got to do 1 cycle of hitting the hop limit before I go to bed, and I'm usually going to hit that daily rate. But then, of course, it gets a little more tricky on the weekends, like today, for example. The reason I'm doing Runecrafting right now is because I've already hit my daily hop limit, or it's not a daily hop limit. I've already hit my hop limit, and now I got to wait for it to respawn. So I'm doing. Thankfully, I have a very efficient training method I can kill time with here in the meantime that I need to do anyways. So it works well together. I can work on Runecrafting here, and then after about 4 hours here, I can go back and train prey again. But it just requires a little bit more planning. So all this roundabout way of just bitching about the Jagex account that's being forced upon everybody. If you could still use your old like RuneLite and Legacy accounts, it essentially doubles your hop limit because they have 2 different world hopper limits. I don't know all the details of it. Don't ask me. There's more knowledgeable people that can explain to you the reason for it. But all I know is because if you switch over to a Jagex account, which I did unknowingly because I got a new computer here around Christmas, and I set up my new computer, downloaded RuneLite and everything, and it's like, you got to do this Jagex launcher if you want to download it. I'm like, okay, fuck it. Oh, you want to turn your account into a Jagex account? Like, sure, why not? Like, oh no, didn't realize what I'd done until after I'd done it. So wish I hadn't made it a Jagex account, but it's only a matter of time before it becomes forced on everybody anyways, so it was just a matter of time. But rant done. Hopefully, I mean, there's a really easy fix to this. I mean, I don't know if it's easy on Jagex's end, but the really easy fix is just extend the hop limit. Make it, if you made it twice as much, it would be what it was before, you know? So I think that would make everybody happy. If the hop limit is, I think it's about 390 per 4 hours or something like that, you know, just make it 800 hops you can do before you run out, and then I think everybody would pretty much be happy from that. Other thing I want to touch on, once I'm done with these grinds, which actually I'll talk about what my current piece of the grind is here in a little bit. I still need to finish out magic. That's one of my other AFK things that I've been working on, is pumping out magic at flesh crawlers. Usually wear like the full rune setup like I was mailing flesh crawlers, but then I'll trade out like a few pieces of the armor for mage gear, like I'll do the wizard's hat, and then I'll do the magic amulet. So I basically have almost max defense and like only like minus 50 or so magic, so I won't splash. So I'll do a little bit of damage to the flesh crawlers. And with max stats, max defense, you can live a long time, especially on a full inventory of trout and salmon. You can go 4, 5, 6 hours or whatever on a full inventory, and you're actually doing some damage, so I can still kill the flesh crawlers and pick up some bone fragments, because once I run out of my 125k air talismans that I'm creating, I will finish the quest and then do the old-fashioned runecrafting method. With the bone fragments, we'll be able to make some body runes, and doing some other stuff with that too. All right, final part of this video here. A couple things I wanted to talk about a little bit as I kind of carry that into what I'm currently working on, and then at the end here I'll throw in a couple skilling clips. Something I've kind of already touched on a little bit in this video, but you can probably glean. I'm very interested in talking about motivation and how you can use it from this game and kind of apply it to your real life, and how there's certainly like positive elements to pull from playing RuneScape as much as I do, and as much as many of my viewers I'm sure do. You know, I'm really interested in this weekly and daily XP kind of goal I set for myself. And even though I play RuneScape as a means of escape and relaxing, you know, having this really structured way of playing the game to where it almost feels like a job, I think, I mean, you can pull from it and use it in other pieces of your life. And I think there's some really positive traits you can glean from that. And even though I enjoy doing this, you know, you can really focus on this and accomplish bigger and better goals throughout your personal life and through RuneScape, you know, with some of these different ideas. And, you know, using that, I kind of want to springboard in what I'm currently doing. Of course, I've already talked about prey and runecrafting, but I wanted to set myself up for success here without burning myself out. Of course, I'm still going to be working on daily goals here, and I thought, you know, I want to take this idea and bring it into my personal life as well and help hold myself accountable. And if I do something for just an hour or two every single day, you know, I can make myself better at work. I can make myself better in my health life, my personal life, and everything. So I don't mean to get too like personal with people who watch me fucking play RuneScape, but I thought this was interesting. I wanted to at least share it. This is what I'm currently doing. I'm doing 105 days of building good habits. Originally it's going to be 100, but then the numbers didn't add up quite nicely enough, so I made it 105 days. Fuck you, I can do what I want. Basically January 1st till April 15th, every day there's going to be a workout component. There's going to be a health dieting component. I have a work component, and then I have my RuneScape component. And every single day I'm going to be working on this. Health stuff, I mean, this is not a lot. I was an athlete in high school. This isn't a ton for me to do, but I've definitely kind of let myself go a little bit the last 5 years. Doing some planks, push-ups, sit-ups every single day was just going to help me get into better shape. Intermittent fasting, I probably put on 15 pounds this year just from bad diet, being lazy, that type of thing. I believe a lot in intermittent fasting. I've done this before, and it's a great way to lose weight really fast. So from 10 p.m. to 2 p.m. the next day, I'm going to be not eating. And then every day, my job, I work in sales, so I make a lot of outbound sales calls and emails. I can also get a little bit lazy too, because I have a lot of renewal clients to where, especially this time of the year, I can get kind of complacent and go, okay, well, I've already hit my sales quota for the week. I don't really need to focus on it, but it's just holding my feet to the fire a little bit, helping me make more money, because I make a commission on the sales that I make, and been able to just lock in a little bit on that. And then, of course, my Runescape, what everyone's waiting to hear about. 20,000 prey experience a day and 10,000 Runecrafting experience. These are pretty light goals. Currently, I'm on not currently, I just got back from my Christmas vacation. I was playing way more than this every day, but knowing that I'm going to be a little bit locked in more here on work the next couple months, I think this is a very attainable goals. 20,000 prey, I mean, that's 2 hours barely of playing. 10,000 Runecrafting is 1 hour. It's basically 3 hours of playing a day, 2.5 if you're playing a little more efficiently. It's not that bad. This is a goal I think I should be able to pretty easily accomplish. In fact, I need to log my stuff from this past week, but I think I did about 200,000 on my first week. My damn client, I closed the one that I wrote the notes on, so it didn't save it, so I need to update that. But basically, that's what I'm working on. I'm going to be, if I do this every day until April 15th, I will have 90 prey and 87 Runecrafting. That won't use up the rest of my air tiaras, but it'll get me pretty darn close. And then it'll set me up to when my work season gets real busy, I'll be able to do some more AFK stuff. I definitely see myself going back to AFK flesh crawlers with combat and also killing some minnows. Because if I do want to max Runecrafting, I will need about 27,000 bone fragments still, so that's quite a bit of melee. And one nice thing about doing that too is when you kill flesh crawlers, you get negative prey experience, which then means I can get like double EHP. According to a free-to-play wiki anyways. Temple doesn't have it like that. But I'll be able to get like double EHP basically when I go back and finish prey after that. So it's kind of a win-win, if you will. But that's basically all I want to talk about. I don't know the next time I'm going to make a video, because at this point there's not a whole lot to report on. It's just going to be doing these couple skills for a long fucking time and hoping I don't burn out, and continuing to find ways to keep me from burning out. And I didn't think in a million years I'd ever make it this far in RuneScape, and we are not officially on the home stretch yet, but the end is in view, I should say. I'll put it that way. I can see the finish line. It's a ways down the road, but it's starting to come into picture, and that's pretty much it. Appreciate you sticking around this long and watching this video. I'm going to be streaming a little bit probably this week and the next couple weeks. So yeah, Twitch TV / Jake Hathaway. I'll have it linked below. I usually post in the World 385 Discord as well. Feel free to ever hit me up. But thanks for watching, and have a great life.
Happens all the time. Present company accepted. Present company accept the worst. It happens every night. Present company excluded every time. jerk, except you are an actual jerk and living proof that sometimes friends are mean. Present company, expected present company, just laugh it off. It's better than it seems. Present company, excluded in every way. Present company makes me want to stay. Go. Killing it with close inspection, killing it can only make it worse. It sort of makes it breed. Present company, accepting presently, we all expect the worst. It works just like a need. Present company, excluded in the night. Present company, included in the fight. getting